Hello there, my beautiful Sagittarius signs. This is Rachael with Dark Knight Coaching. So today's video is all about you, Sagittarius. If you're like me, then you're probably going through some sort of like crazy whirlwind experience, but you're completing a cycle. It is one that is fated and meant to happen. Sometimes those are like the ones that hurt the most, but I do feel like you are shifting out of old mindsets and into some new mindsets because of all of this trauma and drama and healing that's occurring for you. So there's a lot of positive stuff in your energy, but when I tapped into our energy, because I'm a Sagittarius sun, there was a song that I was guided to listen to, and it's called Eyes on Fire by Blue Foundation. And it's kind of about your enemies coming out of the woodwork, like in a way. So it's like you have slayed the dragons, the shadows, you've gone through the depths of your subconscious and that innermost fear and shame, and you've taken accountability for your actions and your choices, and you've been truthful with yourself and with other people about like how you feel and what you're going through and stuff like that. And I do feel like it has been a fight of your will, of your strength, and there's a lot of alchemy happening basically in your reading here. So this message is just as much for me as it is for you, Sagittarius, but I pull a traditional Celtic cross spread, and sometimes clarifier cards come out, so I take those as I need to, and then after the tarot, I dive into your oracle cards, which are usually cohesive. And when I was tapping into your energy, there was a lot of messages about you doing a lot of inner work and shadow work, but there was also a message about like jasmine. It could be the flower, it could be the scent, or a person named Jasmine. There was also something about M&Ms and chai tea. So I know those seem kind of like random, random things for some of you, but for others of you, it might be just a synchronicity you need to hear to affirm like you are meant to watch this message or this video. So take that as it resonates, but if it does happen to resonate, please make sure you smash the like button. It helps my channel grow, and I greatly appreciate it. Now, to dive into your energy, Sagittarius, I pulled the most Sagittarian card of all, which was the Nine of Wands. This is the wounded warrior energy. This is about like all the battles, all the trials, all the tribulations that you've gone through, and trying to see the good in those things. And that is, I feel like that's your challenge at this time too, because what's crossing you in this Celtic cross spread is the Nine of Cups. So it's like there's a wish granted or a wish fulfilled here, but I feel like it's like one of those bittersweet gifts. Like, maybe you asked for something for Christmas like 5 Christmases ago, and then finally somebody's getting around to doing it, and you're like, ugh, like the timing was off, or like that's not what I wanted exactly when I wanted it. And sometimes that's how spirit works. They like to slap you in the face with not what you want, but what you need, and that can be painful. And I'm feeling like Tiana is an important name. I was getting like Princess and the Frog energy right there, where you don't get what you want, but you get what you need. But right now, the foundation of all of this is like you have lemons, you have tools in your toolbox. You have all these lemons and all these tools. So like, what can you create? Are you gonna make some lemonade? Are you gonna manifest something else? Like, what's your path? What's your trajectory here? Because you are the alchemist, so it's like you can head in kind of whatever direction you feel guided by, but it's like you are maybe you feel a bit limited by your surroundings, but you're trying to utilize everything you have, everything you've learned to move forward. And it is requiring like immense strength. Like, this is not something lighthearted. This is a very deep message, because you have gone within, you have done a lot of shadow work and a lot of healing, and you've elevated emotionally and spiritually, and you might physically be like vibrating. Sometimes that happens when you go through ascension. You will shake because we are all molecularly and on atomic levels, we are all vibrational frequencies. Basically, we're electromagnetism that vibrates, and that is scientific fact that's proven. So something about Leo energy in the past, you might have been dealing with a Leo, but with the Ace of Swords coming out as your current vibe as well, I do feel like that's having an honest adult conversation with yourself or with other people in your energy. And that's like being your highest authentic vibration. And that is gold. Like that is where you are that master alchemist, where you've turned the lead into gold. And it is putting you on a higher path, a higher timeline. Now, sometimes, you know, it doesn't always look like the Midas touch when we go through hardships and things like that, but it is like this internal gold that you have, which might feel like, at least for me, it feels a little lackluster when that doesn't show up in the 3D. But I do feel like it's a matter of time for that to show up for you, because if you've been true to yourself, true to your heart, and had good intentions, then you're going to get that back. Now, in your near future, you have the 3 of Swords and the Judgment card. This is heavy. I'm not going to there's no way to put this. Heartbreak is what's led you here. Heartbreak has guided you to your highest self, to connecting with your guides and your spirit and your angels and your highest, best timeline. Heartbreak is the thing that has probably opened you up. And I'm getting like ringing in my right ear, and my right shoulder was aching right before I got on this message, which was weird because I didn't have a right shoulder ache until I started like tapping into Sagittarius energy. So some of you on the right side or your right ear, shoulder might be significant, but it was a pain like right in the joint too, like what do they call that, the rotary cuff? And that's strange because I've never had like rotary cuff issues. So some of you might be healing from some sort of injury. But I do feel like whatever this is, it was divinely guided, because you have the world here in your subconscious energy. That to me is like closing out of a cycle and completion. So you learned the lesson, and it's a really great thing because you found the blessing, because the Sun card is right below that. Now, what's in your control here is the 2 of Pentacles. That's like you are juggling maybe many hats that you're wearing, and that is like kind of how it's supposed to be at this time. Sometimes we might find ourselves like juggling a few jobs or trying to do all these different things. You know, I'm envisioning like an octopus, like octopus arms. Like I wish I had 8 arms or something. And maybe that's why your arms are hurting, because you wish you had more time. But I do feel like people see you maybe as a little bit regretful or remorseful, or maybe just still grieving the past or situation. But you're in your hopes and fears, you're hoping for fast movement or communication, and you're hoping that maybe someone sees things from your perspective, or maybe you're fearful people won't see things from your perspective. And there's nothing you can do about someone else's perception, Sagittarius. The only thing you can do is be in this truth, be in this Ace of Swords energy, and eventually like the truth will come to light at some point, and people will be like, oh wow, that was true, that wasn't a lie, that was accurate. Because sometimes people have a hard time believing others when they haven't seen it for themselves, or they haven't had those types of experiences as you. And that is kind of like humility, the lesson of humility. So somebody might have to go through something similar in order to see it from your angle, or to see it from your side. And sometimes, we can ask the karmic gods to delve that out. And, if somebody doesn't get their karma in this lifetime, chances are they're going to get it in the next one. So the potential outcome here you have is the 4 of Swords. This is a card of self-reflection, awareness, ownership came out. So I'm going to use that as a validation here, because ownership came out in your oracle cards. But I really feel like this is like contemplation and self-reflection and things like that. So this is a healing energy, a healing card. So you are still healing from the past, from the pain, from the grief. You're in a recovery mode. Wow. Okay. And then you're going from like choppy waters into calmer seas. It is happening. Between now and the next 6 weeks, I feel like you're going to feel a shift energetically. A month to 6 weeks, there's going to be a lot more closure, I want to say. And that closure can come in many forms. It doesn't always come like in the form of an apology from someone. However, you might be getting that, because if someone is seeing your angle or your perspective, they might be apologizing to you. So you never know. And we are in a Mercury retrograde right now until December 15th. So don't be surprised if you don't hear from some of your exes, because that's pretty common. Now, that's what I have for you, Sagittarius, when it comes to tarot. If it helped, please smash the like button. It helps my channel grow, and I greatly appreciate it. If you are interested in listening to the oracle cards, then stay tuned, and I will go through those because there's a lot of cohesive messages. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Ownership. You acknowledge your misdeeds and accomplishments alike and learn to love them all as lessons. So we are all human. A symptom of being human is the song that's popping into my head right now. Sometimes we can use our pain and alchemize it and become a creator or an artist. A lot of the times, Taylor Swift, that's a prime example of someone who has transmuted pain from the past and pain from like all of the unfortunate frogs that she's dated, and she's really used it and built herself a platform. So, it's awesome to see when that can happen. And the third eye card I have for you is practice. It says, sit with your body and truly work with your intuition. Do you have any odd or pressing feelings that it's telling you something, but you don't know what? Pay attention to any feelings and see where they lead you. Number 60 from the I Ching is measuring. Things need to be articulated to make them more manageable, easier to take in and to work with. When measures grow organically, they reflect the natural rhythms of life and allow a fuller participation in its flow. Progress is made in small increments. Now, it says bitter measures do not allow for constancy. I feel like this is tied to slow and steady runs the race. I say that a lot on these readings, but I do feel like that's what it is. This is kind of like baby steps in the direction that you want to be heading in, because it's like you're not really quite sure of maybe your footing, or you're not really sure what direction you're heading, but all you know is that you're headed in a positive direction towards recovery and healing, and that might be all you need to know right now. And for, type A personalities, for like those that are on the spectrum or neurodivergent or whatever, it's hard to not know, because I love knowing. Like, I would rather know than not know. So that might be the challenge for you at this time. But this recovery card is tied to your crown chakra, which is at the top of your head, basically, right above your head, actually. And that is what connects you to your highest self. And I feel like that is trusting yourself is healing as well. Now, you have the cardinal moon. Something about a cardinal bird might be significant. It says, be bold and make the first move. I'm not really sure what this is in regards to, because I'm not really getting like a good vibe from that. So let's pull a tarot card and see, what is this in regards to? Be bold and make the first move. Is this love? Is this passion? Is this 3D? Hierophant. Okay. Interesting. Something about Taurus energy. You might be studying something new. This usually is a card of study, because there's like two students and then the teacher right above there. Something about Taurus time frame. Something about May might be significant, or keys to something. Keys. That's strange. But yeah, I'm getting chills on that one, so that resonated for somebody. But the next card I have for you is Treasure Island, and this is just a synchronicity about like learning to trust yourself, learning to know that you have everything in your wheelhouse that you already need to succeed, and that is like the abundance that we all carry on our backs. And then number 17 came out, which is fate. And then Treasure Island was number 9. I think I forgot to say that. But the fates. So everything is divinely timed for you. Now, we can somewhat change fate a little bit, but for the most part, our destiny is kind of tied to certain people and certain situations. And we go into our souls in this life in agreement with that. And I do feel like that is what's happening to you. And sometimes that feels good, sometimes it feels bad. It's like the bittersweet gift of things. Now, with this 3 of Swords and the Judgment card, make sure your heart is lighter than a feather, because if you've done everything with pure and good intention and with the best interest for the collective greater good, then you're covered, okay? Like, you're good. So you know, if you haven't, that's fine. You just have to take ownership of it and be able to forgive yourself, but like also do the healing work so you don't make the same mistakes again. Because if we end up in these cycles of repeat, then obviously we didn't learn the lesson and we have to go through it again. And then it's just like a cycle of sorrow, essentially. Now you have the I am wise card. I love to see this because that to me says like you're learning the lesson, you're really learning, and maybe you're picking up something that's going to help other people, and that's how you're transmuting your pain as well. Now, the last card I have for you is Whale. Whales are beautiful, amazing creatures that send out amazing energy through echolocation type of sounds. You know what I'm talking about. I'm thinking of that movie called Down Periscope, I think it was. That's like an old movie. I'm kind of aging myself, but that was just, there's a hilarious part about like whale communication in there. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, then you don't know. But if you're younger, you could give it a Google. But something about whales might be significant for you. So just as a whale can dive into the depths of the sea and endure immense pressure, you are also able to endure both emotional and physical pressures. So this is, to me, it's just like you are the master alchemist. You've gone into like hell and back, and you've clawed your way back out of the darkness and out of the mud like a lotus, and you are transmuting the pain of betrayal, the pain of loss, the pain of loving. And, you know, love and pain kind of go hand in hand, because like when you have more love to give and there's nothing left of a situation, that's when it turns into grief. And grief is just the unexpressed form of love essentially coming out. So kind of a somber reading for you, Sagittarius, but I do feel like there are good things to come. So yeah, that's what I have for you. If it helped, please smash the like button again. It helps my channel grow. I greatly appreciate it. If you're interested in a one-on-one coaching session where I can help you work through your trauma, please feel free to book that on my website. If you're interested in a personalized tarot reading, I can do that on my website as well.